Yo guys, what's going on? Acez is here today with another video. In today's video, we are going to be checking out patch 12.12.3's patch notes. We are not going to be checking out the list of fixes, but we are going to go through all of the new additions. But don't worry, I will show you them here in just a second. But before I do, you got to at least hit that like button, man. You got to hit that like button for me. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'd say by the time this is uploaded, probably in about 15 to 30 minutes, the patch should be completely done and finalized, assuming there's no issues. And we should all be in game, farming or killing. Doesn't matter to me, man, but I am ready for wipe. It is fully here. So here is your list of fixes. Just pause the video, read through these. There's some really good fixes in here, but I just figured this is going to save us a lot more time just checking out those new additions. And that's what a lot of people are here for as well. Here's other changes. Here's your graphic improvements and sounds as well. All right. Gave you plenty of time to pause the video. Let's hop into it, man. New additions. Expanded the lighthouse location. Added the ability to visit the island where the lighthouse is located. And some new interiors on the water treatment plant. We got 3 new bosses. We got Bird Eye, Knight, and Big Pipe. Now, there's a really interesting dynamic to these bosses, guys. I read through this a little earlier, and I was completely surprised to see that as soon as you kill a rogue or something, these guys know, and they are ready to kill your ass. It's really impressive, actually. All right, so we're going to be skipping right to this second paragraph here. Bosses maintain contact with each other and with other rogues. However, they don't stick together and instead keep their positioning distances. When an enemy is detected by any of the bosses or rogues, information on the enemy location is transmitted to everyone by radio. The bosses then prepare for battle, taking up tactical positions for engagement. It's going to be really interesting to see how this works, and I'm going to assume they're going to be broke as fuck today, so just be ready for it, because if they can just one-tap you at 300 meters, it's going to be an issue, especially Bird Eye. He's going to be the main one I'm concerned about. But it's going to be interesting, man. I'm really excited for this new dynamic for more than one reason. They're actually going to be on different maps, which I've talked about in the past, but we'll get there in 2 paragraphs. Bosses help each other, use all available weapons, and are hostile to everyone, players of any faction, scavs, and raiders. They don't communicate with the rest of the bosses and fence, so they attack any enemy immediately. Killing them does not affect the player's reputation. So that line is extremely important. I'm under the full impression that you can kill these guys as scavs, and it's going to make using your scav extremely viable if you know where the bosses are. The bosses' habitats are lighthouse, shoreline, woods, and customs. They do not stay in one place and instead wander through these locations all the time. If the bosses have moved to one of the maps, they will be absent on the others. There is no timetable for their movement, and no one knows what the bosses are guided by when changing their location. So I'm really excited for the bosses to be on shoreline, woods, and customs. It's really, really nice they did this, because the only other time we see bosses on other maps that aren't supposed to be there are during the pre-wipe events, and it's one thing that a lot of people really like, and now we're finally going to get that just with a different set of bosses. I think this is something that is really underlooked right now, and it's really going to add a phenomenal dynamic to all 4 of these maps. It's going to be a really fun time. So we'll go ahead and check out the next one, man. Added offline co-op game mode. This game mode is only available to players who purchased EOD. I'm not sure how much content I'm personally going to do with this, but you know, if I need people for co-op content, you have EOD edition, follow me on Twitter or something. I'll probably tweet out like, hey, I need some guys for something I want to test, something like that. And you know, if you're following my Twitter and you want to partake in that, then we can do stuff. So the start as group checkbox allows for all the players in the group to spawn together in the center of the location. With the checkbox unchecked, all players will spawn like in online mode. So you can spawn together. That is huge. That is so good. It just saves time, really. The number of players in a group for co-op mode has been increased and depends on the maximum number of players in the selected location. The number of co-op servers may be limited under heavy loads. In this case, on the group gathering screen, you'll see a message saying, attention, high load on practice mode servers. Now, guys, this literally means you're playing on BSG dedicated servers. So don't ever say BSG didn't do nothing for you. The reason this is EOD is because BSG are paying their own money for these specific co-op servers, okay? They are literally paying the money so we can have co-op offline. It does no good for them personally or financially, let me say that. It does no good for them financially when it comes to direct in-game purchases when you're playing co-op. But since now we can have co-op to create content, it allows us to do more fun shit with the game. And that, in theory, will return them revenue by getting new players in the long run. That's my way of looking at it. But, you know, co-op servers is something we've been asking for a long time, and it's really nice to see Battlestate Games delivering to the fans, man. It's you know, I support Battlestate Games to the end of time. You guys know this, and they're just a phenomenal company when they do get the shit done that we really, really want. So, we got the next one. Rework the movement animations. They've been working on this, and, you know, so far it's been looking good. They're running animations now. Look really, really nice already. Update the animation for character movement, jumps, and stances. Added new breathing animations, melee attack animations, weapon drawing, and holstering. This is interesting. Added new breathing animations. Snow soon? Question mark. Temperature soon? Question mark. I'm already speculating for the next patch. Here we go again. Added sprint animations that change depending on the weapon type. Some of these were shown off in the podcast. Some of them look pretty decent, but they, you know, are definitely going to take some getting used to. I will say that. Added rotations and tilts of the body when moving and sprinting. The lower the speed position of the player, the lower the tilt during turns and vice versa. So basically, you're not going to be able to cheese people as much. Like if you are prone and you're leaning around a car, people are going to see you now. You're not just going to have a little tilt to your weapon or something. You're going to see your whole body. You're going to get tapped in the face. So, you know, it's kind of nerfing the OP movement sometimes. Implemented weapon orientations during the sprint, in particular ability to switch another weapon, switch fire modes, check magazine and chamber, folding and unfolding your stocks, inspections, and reloading. Fix third-person weapon twisting while prone when laying on the side. All right. Added daily tasks for player scavs. The task will be given out by Fence once a day and will be available after building the intelligence center in the hideout, regardless of PMC character level. Add a new type of daily task, searching for items from a category such as food, medicine, weapons, etc. All items will need to be found in one raid. Definitely interesting. The food one's going to be the easiest one. Medicine, actually, no, medicine will be easy. Weapons will probably be the hardest one if it has to all be in one raid. Maybe like find 2 pistols or something. That'd be a fun one. Added slots for special PMC items, which is your compass, rangefinders. Oh, it literally says right there. Compass, rangefinder, Wi-Fi camera, marker, and other special items. Items in the special slot are not lost upon death. Guys, this one is fucking huge. We don't have to buy fucking markers 24/7, man. This one is good. We can actually have markers on us and not have them up our ass. This is so good. This is such a good change. I don't think you guys realize how good of a change this is. It's so good. It is such a good change. They also cannot be looted from bodies. To activate an item for the special slot, you need to assign a hotkey, so keep that in mind. Added a flare gun, single shot reactive flare rounds with lighting and flare ammo, shooting red flare signals, calling a plane with an airdrop to the nearest possible location. Update the airdrop mechanics. Added 4 types of containers with unique context: weapon, medicine, supplies, and general purpose. Added countermeasure flares when flying in and dropping the container. Updated the plane trajectories and decreased the engine sound volume. Oh my god, it's happening, baby. Holy shit. Look at that. Look at that. Hopefully it's by like 50%, man, because them bitches are loud as fuck. Added tasks for new lighthouse territories. Updated the base clothing models for USEC and Bear PMCs. Added new head models for USEC and Bear. Added new weapons and customization for them. Benelli M3 Super 90 shotgun. That's going to be your 12 gauge. Accuracy International AXMC sniper rifle. MP18 single shot rifle. That's going to be your 7.62x54R. It's literally a one shot, and it didn't seem too good. It seemed kind of TAWS level, just with better ammo. You have the RD 704 assault rifle. The SAG AK carbine. That is like one that's in all black AK, and it's kind of more futuristic looking, I would say. I think Nikita worded it. It's slightly better than an AK platform. We have the G36, and you can, I believe it's all platforms and all variants of it in the game. And then we have the MGL, which only spawns on Big Pipe, and I believe that is the only way the weapon is obtainable. Maybe somehow Peacekeeper level 4 will sell it, but, you know, we'll see. Rework the animations for the MP133 and the MP9. Now, I want to pause here because this is some pretty big stuff when we start talking about the skills here. I believe there's 3 skills that got nerfed, and it's pretty heavy nerfs, so make sure you're paying attention here at least. Change the bonuses for the perception skill. Now the hearing radius increases by 0.3% per level until 15% at the max level. Before this change, the hearing radius increased by 0.7 and was up to 35%. change the inertia speed and force when leaning. So that's just going to be when you lean and how fast you're leaning. Added new outfits for both PMCs. Added new crafting recipes in the hideout, so we'll be checking that out. Next are 2 more skill nerfs, and that's where we're going to wrap this one up. Reworked Elite Metabolism skill effect. Now with 0 hydration energy, you will not receive any thirst and hunger damage, but you'll still receive the other negative effects. Before this change, there were no negative effects at all. I'm going to be honest. This wording here is incorrect, okay? There was one negative effect, and that was your stamina regen. If you were at 0 hydration or 0 energy with Elite Metabolism, your stamina regeneration was completely shit. Once you sprint in, you're going to be regenning slow. Now, the main difference there is, I believe, when you don't have Elite Metabolism, it wouldn't regen, like, at all. It would be way slower. But on Elite, it would still regen. It would just take a while. But if you got caught out with 0 hydro and 0 energy at any point in a raid and you start getting shot at, you're not going to be able to sprint for that long. And you're going to have to take the gunfight right away. And it also affects your accuracy, because when you're on that low of stamina, when you're trying to aim and hold your breath and do shit like that, you can't because you're out of stamina. So saying that there was no negative effects at all is actually just a straight up lie. There was. I get Elite Metabolism every single wipe within the first 2 to 3 weeks. So, you know, I would know. But now there's literally going to be all the other effects with it, just no damage. So definitely something you want to keep up to date with this wipe. Make sure you have hydration sources and energy sources available to you at all times, because getting those tremors and all that other annoying shit is going to be ass. Rework the Elite Strength skill effect. Now weapons on the sling, back, and holster now are weightless. All other equipment and item weight in chest rakes, backpack, pouches, and secure containers is counted normally. All equipment and weapons used to be weightless. This is pretty big for the Giga Chads. For me, I never play the game enough in one wipe to actually get Elite Strength. Typically, I peter out like after a month and a half, 2 months. So it's just like I never get there. It's going to be interesting to see how this really affects things. I don't think it'll affect much personally, because, you know, you're still getting your weapons accounted for. The armor is definitely going to be the biggest impact there. This Elite Strength skill really allowed you to run the heavy armors and still kind of go nuts and still kind of go crazy. Now that's going to be nerfed, and it's really going to, once again, slow down the W key meta. Out of the 3 skill nerfs, I think the Perception one was definitely looked at specifically because of how broken it was. I think this nerf might be slightly too extreme. I mean, 20% would have been fine in my opinion. You know, 5% at the end of the day is only going to make a difference in maybe 2 of your raids in an entire wipe, especially if you have that shit maxed out. But, you know, it's going to level up slower. Your hearing's going to be shit more. Hearing's the most important thing in Tarkov. Yeah, it might be a shitty change, but at the end of the day, it's probably needed, especially for those players who have the 35% bonus. Elite Metabolism, I don't think this change was necessary. It was not too overpowered, having Elite Metabolism. Like I said, there were negative effects. This wording is completely false. This one, personally, I think needs relooked at. I don't think anything was wrong with Elite Metabolism. And then Elite Strength. I think this was needed, but I don't think it had to be this crazy. I think you could have just tacked on the armor, you know? I don't think the rig and the backpack and that shit really make that big of a difference at the end of the day, maybe 10 kilos. So, you know, that's just my opinion. I think the Elite Strength nerf might be a little too much. I think the Metabolism nerf was completely unnecessary, and I think the Perception one was pretty needed. So that's where I stand on that. That's going to be the patch notes for 12.12.3. I'm going to do my best to cut some of this out because currently sitting at a 17-minute video, so hopefully I can do that for you. I'll try to aim to get it down to 12 minutes, but we'll see how much I just literally talked over nothing. Make sure that like, subscribe, sponsors, and equipment description below. Wipe very soon, my friends. I'll see you there.